How is everyone doing tonight?
Fine. Oh, I bought a truck and I get it tomorrow.
Ooh,
Cool.
right
I
on.
hope so. I hope it's cool. It could be. It could be disastrous.
It could be. But it could be fun, though.
It could be
I
fun,
will come out
though.
wiser at the end of this whole process, no matter what.
Eli and I both know
So,
what that means. But it could
a
be fun, though.
1995 Dodge Ram 2500.
Oh, that's a good...
Cool. I know those are words in English. I don't. I'm not a car person.
I've
It
heard.
has 4 wheels, a steering wheel, and an engine, and like probably something on the outside. It's a car.
It's best. This is an
Good bet.
actual like it's a solid bug out.
Nice.
Yeah,
2500, that's a reasonable truck. You can do some stuff with that. It's not like it's
Right.
not like a
And where
tiny
the
Toyota or
condition
anything.
it's in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's gas, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Diesel.
No, it's gas.
Oh, is it? I think it's
Well,
diesel.
James looked at it and said he's pretty sure it's gas. Just by
That
the
might be
pictures.
something to figure out.
Yeah. But you know what? Anyway.
What's the
I
year
got
on it?
95.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
30 years old.
So if it's diesel, then you don't have to put any DEF fluid in there. That'd be
No,
nice.
yeah. But I think I am excited. If all is well,
We use those all the time at the
Then-
landscaping company. They're pretty strong.
it will be a very fun vehicle. It's not
Awesome.
going to be for everyone. It's not. But it'll be fun while it lasts.
I've been looking for something similar. Well, yeah. Well, fantastic. Happy to hear that. Does anyone want to give a quick recap of what happened last week, or otherwise I can.
Well, I know sorry, I don't have one actually written down, but we escaped. We got through the puzzles
Mm-hmm.
and up into the top of that shrine temple thing at Camp Salvation.
It was,
Vengeance.
well, you were
Camp
at
Vengeance is where we're going.
Camp Righteous.
Righteous, that's the word. That's the word. Yep.
Oh, okay.
But on the way out, we got hit with the fog. This blue hallucinogenic fog that messed up Cassandra and Petal pretty bad.
Yeah, Pedal got it worse.
Um,
Number two, I was not as resilient as you.
we made it out. So we met a hermit.
Mm-hmm. Hermit the Hermit.
Hermit the hermit.
Kermit the Hermit, sorry.
Kermit the
But then
Hermit.
something pushed us away.
Kermit the Hermit.
He was. I know I wasn't there for that, but he wasn't like one of those frog people, was he?
He's
No,
not.
he's something else, actually.
Huh.
Yes. Does anyone want to
Did we
enlighten him
ever
on that?
find that out? I don't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, you did. He is. He told you of his own volition that he is a werebearer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Hey, real quick, Dan, I got a question about
I thought we had to go.
Roll20. The,
Yeah.
like, Zach, Shadow, you, like, picture icon thing.
Mhm.
Is there a way to hide that? Because it is taking up a substantial portion
the
of the
word.
screen.
Yes,
Even
if you go to the right panel and hit the gear, then you can go to the audio video section, and what is it? Audio video?
There was
Let's see
there was
here.
graphics.
It's somewhere in here. You can change the size of it. I think it's an audio video though.
Your pop-out windows.
Video display. So go to the audio video section, and then there's a tab called video display.
Ah.
Then you can change video avatar size. And then you want to probably refresh your page after you do that. I think you might have to refresh. That may not be necessary, but that will make it smaller. And then I kind of pile mine all in the same spot in one corner on top of each other, and then it takes up less space.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
It's much better.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yes, I've got you all on the map of Chult at the moment. You are about 15 miles, give or take a little bit, from your destination of Camp Vengeance. You spent the last night, having kind of just enjoying some hospitality at Kermit the Hermit's humble abode in the dinosaur jungle garden thing.
And we told him that we would stop by on our next time that we came through, we would stop by and say hi.
Yeah. Do you want to? Are you
Okay.
adding that to your map? That location?
We should.
We would like to, yes.
Okay, I will.
If for no other reason than that's the only person or location that has not tried to kill us since we left Yanzar.
If
Yeah.
you then go back and put the approximate location of wherever that Cyclops was. She was
Yeah,
very sweet.
Oh,
is maybe not the right term, but not murderous was nice.
Yep.
For a Cyclops.
yeah, that's a good point.
I think they're chaotic good, actually. If you're going by official D&D ethical alignment.
Yes, let's mark. I don't remember her name. I don't think I gave her a name. At least not that you know of. Whoa, what just happened? One of the unfortunate things about putting things on the map layer is that you can accidentally skew the map seriously.
At some point, obviously, not during game, when you get some time, if you wouldn't mind giving me a rundown on how to run a campaign through Roll20, or at least operate the maps and stuff, because I'm planning on doing a hex crawl that would be really cool if I could do it in Roll20.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would love to help with that. There we go. Kermit the Hermit. And let's go ahead and put your little map from Keegan. There's your map from Keegan on roughly how to get to Vorn. Just in case you had forgotten, it's that
No,
blue line.
definitely good. Can you erase the big red line?
Yeah. Let's get that cleaned up, shall we?
Yeah.
Problem is, some of that's on a different layer.
Oh, yeah.
So, why don't you explain to me what it is you would like to do now that it is the next morning. I'm assuming you made camp and you spent the night somewhere because he had warned you that it's not a good idea to be near him at night. He could have an episode.
Now our lycanthropes, it's still considered lycanthrope even if they're not an actual werewolf, right?
Right.
Are lycanthropes common enough that we would know some general information about them? Can they transform willingly, or does it only happen against their will or at night? Or are there situations where they can be more in control or not? How does that work in your?
Would that be a history check?
It would be if it was really hard information. But you have heard rumors that you can't verify or confirm to be true that there have been lycanthropes, such as werewolves, that could transform at will. But generally, it's your understanding that it's something done unconsciously and perhaps at certain triggers.
Okay, cool. Because I don't know if this is rules as written, but I've always run lycanthropes. It's like there's multiple different kinds. There's like kinds that have it like that it's passed on genetically, which can change at will and don't have like them maintain themselves when they transform. And then there's like curse-based lycanthropes, which are not themselves when they change and do not have control over it. I can't remember if that's like officially rules as written, but I've done it enough times that I just do it that way every time.
It's been a little while since I researched it, so I can't remember exactly. Mine kind of blur with more of like the Elder Scrolls lycanthropes, which I kind of prefer anyway. So that's definitely fair game. You could find a ring or something that gives you the power to change at will. Was it the Ring of Hersine, I think it is?
I think so.
Yeah, you could find something like that maybe. It would only work if you were a werewolf or lycanthrope. As you start off your next day, your terrain changes pretty drastically. You exit the group of tall jungle trees that are mostly on dry ground and enter into a very swampy, marshy area, and the insects get very, very dense. So anyone who, I think you were using insect repellent when you were at Camp Righteous, it's certainly safe to say that that's worn off by now. Anyone who's not, well, I can't say for sure. You just have entered a swampy area. The water around you, outside of the flowing stream, which is gradually getting harder and harder to discern, is becoming a tinge muddier, maybe green colored. Not the nice, cleaner flowing water that you're used to. And the other thing of note is the current gets much, much slower, and the waterway widens significantly.
Okay. So if we're still, I'm assuming we're still traveling by boat, correct? Or at least Winston towed boat.
Mm-hmm.
That was my understanding. If you want to keep that up.
Okay. In that case, I think I'm going, instead of spending some of our bug repellent, I'm going to set up one of my, or both of my bug nets over our boat so that we can enjoy comfort without having to be lathered in grease.
Sounds good. Is this ambience too loud, by the way?
Nope.
Okay. This is essentially what you would hear.
I love it. But I can't miss those noises.
Do you feel
like the console bugs and stuff from the south? Yeah.
Does it feel like home?
Yes.
Let's have a perception check from anyone who's interested.
I'm one of I'll do one. No! 4.
Okay.
15.
10.
There's a few stumps in the water, old trees that have fallen down, very, very rotten. They're kind of pointy a little bit. That definitely kind of came down from lots of rot. It's lily pads that are starting to accumulate the further and further you go in. It seems like Winston might have a little bit of trouble making it while pulling this raft, just for clearance problems. The width of your raft is pretty wide, though certainly not impossible. It's likely going to slow down your travel speed to about the same that if you were walking on the side of the river.
Okay. Could we... What if we were to, like, get poles and, like, help push it along, and like use the poles to like fend off obstacles, but also you said it's shallower, so I'm assuming we could like use poles to guide our way along.
You certainly could. Yeah.
Gondolas.
Like a gondola. You're probably going to have to like kind of maneuver around obstacles a little bit more, but you absolutely could use poles. Excuse me. All of a sudden, I can't breathe. Okay.
Wouldn't that kind of interfere with like the nets we have up the?
Yeah, we probably wouldn't be able to use the nets, or they wouldn't be nearly as effective. But
I say we just pull the nets in, like, we'll sit here all day, yeah. And, yeah, I don't want to be, like, standing, you know.
Cassandra offers to burn an incense cube and put it kind of towards the front so that the fumes kind of waft backwards and help keep the bugs away.
Oh, that makes sense, especially if we're going a little slower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she goes up there and sets that up. As you're doing that, you're what's the word? You come across a kind of a fork, and it's not exactly apparent which direction you should go. Now, you haven't done your navigation roll yet, so this would be a good point to do your navigation roll.
Okay. I'm gonna look at the map, look at the fork, look at the map, map, and roll a 13.
Okay. Great. Okay. All right. You are sure that the direction going right at that fork is the correct direction to go.
I'm sure of it. I love it when I'm sure of things. Usually not the case, but I love it. All right, guys. We definitely. I'm positive. Go right. It's the move.
Only necromancers speaking absolutes.
All necromancers are bad. Just all of the ones we've ever met.
I'm just waiting for that time when I meet a really good necromancer. I've got a feeling, guys, it's gonna happen sometime.
Listen.
Gotta.
There's gotta be one out there.
Necromancer defense fund or something like.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe there's a good one out there that uses skeletons to like farm and protect people. We don't know.
Yeah, and he's like he's always complaining about how the other ones give him a bad name.
Yes.
Like he's just giving the undead a job.
Or not Stevie. Elvira is writing her children's novel in her head right now about the happy necromancer.
Using undead for dangerous manual labor. It's industrialization and recycling at the same time.
I call it Magitech.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Skeletons mining in deep, dark mines. There's a cave-in. We don't really have to rescue. We just send more skeletons down to mine it out.
Yeah. And I mean, like, you know, if goblins come in to try and, like, loot the mine of valuable minerals, well, like, they're going to have to contend with an army of skeletons. What are they going to do?
One problem, though, if we have skeletons in the mines, we're going to miss out on some really good folk music about being trapped in the mine.
Some really good what?
Really good folk music.
You hear off in the distance, or you're not sure, it might be your imagination here.
I love that song.
Elvira, something in your sixth sense is feeling a little bit weird. You're not sure exactly, but you think that there might be somebody following you.
There's someone like watching us. I'm gonna turn around and just stare back down the river like a rear view mirror.
It takes about a minute, but you do see something. Go ahead. You wanted to say something else?
No, yeah, go for it. Do you want to roll a perception check to see if I can figure out what it is?
I used your passive.
Okay. I don't want to pull like, hey, y'all, back, look, follow my finger, and I try and help them find. Turn around.
There's a few muddy boulders behind you that didn't seem to be there a minute ago when you passed that spot. But as you look a little bit closer, you notice that there are two little things sticking up off the top of each of those rocks. And then suddenly you're almost startled by it. A smaller rock off to the side kind of moves, and you all of a sudden your vision becomes clear. It becomes obvious to you these aren't rocks. There's some sort of creature. There's two of them.
Rocks are
moving very slowly behind you. Whatever it is, its outward appearance looks very similar to stones.
Get the book. Get the book.
Can we get the? Yeah, you get the book. But so they look like they're intentionally following us.
I believe Elvira would think so.
Okay. Guy, you get the book, or I guess Petal needs to. But Petal, get your arrows.
We don't know that they're hostile. I mean, they probably are, considering it's Chult. We don't know.
Literally. Okay, aside from Kermit, literally everything, even the darn frog people, have tried to kill us.
I mean, this is good points. Good points. All right, what kind of check would you like, sir?
Let's see. Well, that would depend on if any of you have any experience in swamps before.
I don't know if swamps are a particularly common biome. And
Alpine meadows are where Elvira's from.
I would say probably less familiar with swamps.
She might have had like wetlands, but not swamps.
Okay. It would be a nature check with advantage from Volo's Guide to Monsters if you use that. Up for whoever wants to take it.
Wow. Wow. Natural 1 and a 5 for 5.
Was that your advantage?
Yep.
Okay. Wow. You recognize these as boulder folk.
Boulder folk. Guys, these are boulder people. I'm pretty sure they're friendly. I'm gonna go say hi.
All of a sudden, one of them disappears under the swampy water. There's a couple ripples. But
I say
the
boulder
ripples
creatures. I don't say boulder folk. Can I still be suspicious because of my perception? Elvira's suspicious.
Yeah,
of Petal.
Yeah, you can if you.
And it just can't even be meta because I don't even know what's going on. I'm just really suspicious.
You would probably be able to tell from Petal's tone that he is not particularly confident in his assessment.
You're
of the
talking
situation.
smack, right?
I think that's fair.
But by this point, you've learned to tell when Petal actually knows what he's talking about and when he's being unrealistically optimistic. This is the latter.
And normally I would side eye Petal, but I don't want to take my eyes off of where the boulder creature used to be.
Yeah, it's completely disappeared from sight, and that is maybe just a little bit concerning to you.
Okay.
Because I'm going to assume Elvira has heard of hippos and alligators, and that's never a good sign.
We were still doing the thing with like the poles where we were like moving the raft along, right?
Yeah, unless you want to change that, yeah.
I kind of do. I want to like move mine to the back of the raft and like start poking from the back of the raft, so that way if it like tries and sneaks up on it, I can maybe.
I'm gonna go stand with Guy and help him do the same thing.
Poke it with the thing before it pops up.
Can I send Tavoke out to go do a little recon? I mean, he can't fly yet, so he'd have to swim. His wings are still vestigial.
You could, yeah.
I think it would be perfect if you can get that.
He can get caught. I would rather him not get caught. He can get caught.
No, I said that.
So he can hear you.
Okay. Sorry to vote. Thinking out loud.
So you're sending him after the one that's still visible?
Yes. Just
Okay.
take a look at him. I think, well, actually, no, he can't. He only speaks.
Okay.
So he can't hear you.
He could respond to pedal, and that's it.
Yeah.
It should be worth noting that this thing that you're investigating is probably about 20 feet behind you. You really have, or not 20 feet, 30, let's say 30 feet. Sorry, I'm trying to take into account the speed you're moving and think what's a reasonable distance to move in 1 minute. I think 30 feet in a swamp
Like that,
is pretty
yeah, that's
reasonable.
pretty reasonable.
So it's about 30 feet behind you.
I'm gonna put Maximus up high on top of our mast that we never use because we just have Winston towing us, and like get Shark Khan ready and like give Winston a gentle pat.
Put him in the crow's nest.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think we should have built like a one just for Maximilian.
I'm sure he could be trained to screech and point
Because it's a raft, right?
at potential threats.
A monkey's nest.
A monkey's nest blow on top. We don't have enough for like a whole human up there.
That's a really good idea. You can make him the scout.
Just like the alarm system. You know, then just
Okay, so as Tavok is unfortunately swimming through the water, he gets about 15 feet, and then right in front of him pop up the two little things, and there are eyeballs on each one of them.
Are they rocky
We're
eyeballs?
babies. We're done.
Like rocky eyeballs. Can I roll perception?
Sure, it's going to be a hard check because it's really hard for you to see. They're so small. But they're right in front of Tavok. So if Tavok did... Okay, you see it. Guy, you think they look like eye stalks.
should I roll to Voke's perception?
Yeah, I think so. I should also say it's probably about 5 feet away from him.
Okay, Tavok got an 18 on his perception.
So since he's a dragon, he's probably not super familiar with this creature, but he definitely identifies it as some form of shellfish.
Okay. I'm assuming he like comes back to tell me.
I would think so.
Okay, so
If you
he's
wanted
like,
to.
still out there.
Have him roll a stealth check though,
Okay.
if you want him to come back. It's a weird challenge telling you, Zach, out of game what Tavok sees without Petal knowing.
No worries.
Yeah.
That's a 14 on a stealth check.
Okay. Let's see what the...
He doesn't have any special.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Not noticed. Somehow, this drake that's splashing around in the water goes completely unnoticed.
Well, at this point, he's like the size of a very large iguana.
Okay.
So,
Everyone's just like, it's some sort of weird bird or weird snake.
It's a weird animal. That's what it is. Nothing to see here.
right.
He actually probably blends in very well with the whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
So that's nice. I
Okay.
remember I was never more scared than when I saw like this snake swimming across the river. I'm like, that snake's moving across the current.
Yep, it certainly is. And now the second one has what would be the word? It's gotten into the water and swimming with part of it above the water. So it hasn't gone completely down, but it is making a beeline for your raft, and it's slowly catching up.
Okay.
All right.
Can I take the Volo's Guide to Monsters and do my own check this time, looking for specifically like creatures that have eye stalks?
Oh, I don't think so. You've narrowed it down. Yeah, sure. That sounds good to me.
Like, can I use investigation since I'm looking for a specific kind of?
Sure. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. I guess so.
16.
You found a couple different creatures in the book that have that. One that seems very compelling to you is the giant lobster. Though, in this area, you're kind of sure it's more related to like a big crayfish rather than a lobster.
Do we have butter?
Crawfish. Yeah.
Can I ask what the other ones are?
They're mostly things that don't make any sense in the area. Like there's the myconid. There's another creature that lives in a different plane of existence that doesn't make any sense in the swamp. I'm having some technical difficulties with Roll20 at the second. Sorry. I'm trying to give you a quick battle map because it sounds like you might go into battle.
Yeah.
Right. If they're bum rushing us, I think we want to deal with this before they get to the raft. Capsize.
I think it's a giant lobster.
Giant lobster and/or crawfish. Definitely.
I'm not as well. I only eat shellfish.
I'm not an animalologist. I don't know what
Can
this
you
is.
eat either one of those? It's just they're tiny lobsters from like the swamp areas.
They're like freshwater
Southern
lobsters. And they're usually a lot
lobsters
smaller.
from the south.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you put a whole bunch of them in big pots of like boiling water and other ingredients and spices.
Does the book?
But yeah.
Does the book say anything? Like, assuming I'm looking at the page, does it say anything about like weaknesses or anything? Like things that kind of info?
It says that its exterior is made of a hard plated plates of chitin.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Maybe.
If you were to guess, what size would this be? Large, medium,
Well, it says
gigantic?
giant lobster.
Yeah,
Lobster's pretty small.
It is giant in reference to its its smaller cousin.
Its mundane brethren.
It is because I had to refresh. I lost it. So 1 second here.
Of course. I'm trying to think if I could use its chitin to make armor for Sharkon.
Hard to tell currently from where you stand, but it's possible. It is it's medium size.
Medium size. Okay.
Yep. Now that's probably a little bit meta at this point, but it doesn't matter because as you are on your raft, which I'm going to make just this this square right here. Dang it. Roll20 is great, but I am not very fast with it. Not so much like my fault as it's just a little bit difficult to work with sometimes. Okay. You're on your raft, and one of them rears up out of the water next to you. And remember, you're in a really wide section, so what I'm drawing here as land, kind of on the side, isn't exactly land. It's more of like a more shallow area that you are aware of, that you've been kind of steering clear of.
Okay. Sharkon. Take a swipe at anything that tries to climb up on the raft.
Yeah, you haven't really entered in any form of initiative yet.
Well, I will definitely take a shot at the nearest one.
All right. Why don't you make that attack roll then?
Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins.
Do it, Pavel. Do it.
26?
26 to hit.
You hit. You hit it. Nail it. Where are you aiming for? That's a pretty good roll.
From what I know of lobsters, they're pretty well covered. So I'm going for like the face area where their eye stalks come out of and their little mouthy filter things are.
As you do that, you see, you get a much better image of what this thing is. It rears up out of the water and goes, making clicking sounds, maybe a little bit of a hiss. It's the best I can figure a giant lobster would do. Roll up! Everyone, just as sort of, what is your passive perception, everybody?
A 12, I think.
14.
Okay.
Oh.
Perception, yeah.
You notice that this creature has a human nose and mouth. Everything else looks like a lobster.
Heck no!
I'm less cool with it now. So that's going to be.
Cute little crab things.
That's going to be 8 points of piercing damage and 3 points of cold damage for 11 damage total. Oh wait, I get to make 2 attacks now! Yay! 2 attacks per turn for a natural 20.
Oh!
Wait. So how high is the natural 20 if you add your modifiers?
30.
Whoa! Gosh.
Hey!
I have one trick that I'm really good at. It's shooting a bow.
He is a ranger, after all. Okay, what's
6.2
yeah?
is okay. So that's going to be 19 points of piercing damage and 9 points of cold damage.
Okay. Shot 1 goes into the face area. It gets kind of lodged between what looks like human flesh and some of its chitin exoskeleton. The thing shrieks, or not shrieks. It does the sound I did. And then the second shot, it finds its way between 2 of the chitin plates on its sort of chest area. There's a little bit less armor plating down there when it's standing up. With its, if you think of it kind of like a centaur, it's got the bottom with the legs, and then it's got the chest and head portion that stands straight up. But it can kind of like get down low and flat and low profile.
I hate it.
Okay, so it's Elvira that is actually squiggling a little bit.
I
Like,
want
fine.
to draw my sword and attack.
I no longer want to eat them. I no longer want to eat them.
Yeah, no.
Um,
Probably don't make armor out of them either.
that was the surprise round, so it's time to roll initiative.
Yes.
5 to
Oof.
6.
Ew.
All right, let me add your turns here on the map, and then type your number in on Roll20 for me when you
I
get it.
draw my sword to attack, and then I quickly sheath it and carefully put away.
don't like this creature
Oops.
at all.
There's 2 of them.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, oh yeah. Good.
It's horrific. I hate it.
Like, I thought I could eat it, but now I can't.
No, no desire. No desire.
If it didn't have the face, though, I would have.
Yeah, it didn't have the face, but it's got like a person face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well,
very
it has a
very
crawfish
off-putting.
mouth.
Do y'all know how to eat crawfish?
Even worse.
Yes, I do.
You pinch them in half and you suck out each
And
eye.
you you slurp them.
You do?
All right.
Wait, why is
Guy and Elvira, why don't you put your numbers in the tracker there, if you can see it.
Elvira, there we are.
Add Cassandra's. She gets a natural 20 plus 3, which gives her 23.
Okay.
Petal, was your 23 how did you get your 23? Just so I'm up to speed. Did you have a plus 3 on yours?
+4?
Plus
I rolled
4.
a 19.
Okay, and then what's your dexterity? Because Cassandra's is 14.
My dexterity is 18.
Okay, so Cassandra's I'm gonna just give her a 22 then. 22. That's weird.
Or we could do, you leave her at 23. It's fine. Leave her at 23, and I will do Tavoke at 23.2. So we're going to need Tavoke her.
I don't know why the
So,
Eldani go.
22.
You also learn the name of this creature with your check there, Guy. It is an Aldani, Aldani.
Please an andor too.
Oh.
What was Elvira's initiative?
6. I don't know why it's not changing it. It's 6. I thought it did.
Okay, there we go. Sharkan and Winston and the monkey get the same as Tavoke's number.
I don't think Sharkan or Maximus are going to be able to participate.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult terrain for them. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Maximus isn't much of a combat character anyways.
Mhm.
He's more of a pet. And Sharkan is a tiger and probably doesn't like the swamp so much. And I don't want him to smell like swamp the whole time.
Mhm.
So,
You know that tigers actually love water?
it doesn't surprise me.
Most cats don't, but tigers. Yeah.
That's interesting.
He doesn't like the swamp because it's murky and he can't see.
Swamps are nasty. Yeah, they would not.
It is Elvira's turn, and then Petal is on deck. Oh wait! I'm sorry. I did not order it correctly. It's Petal.
There you go.
There we go. My bad. Petal.
Oh, the one that I attacked previously, was that the one closest to us?
That's this one right here.
Okay. And I will make another 2 shots at that guy. It's an 18 hit.
I believe so. Yes, it does. Quite solid hit, I might say.
Right. That's going to be 6 points of piercing damage and 6 points of cold damage. First shot, second shot. Dirty 20 to hit. 13 points of piercing damage and 5 points of cold damage. These are tough. It's 4 arrows and he's still standing. Several of which were good shots.
About that, he's no longer standing.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to tell me where your shot went as the thing crumples into the water?
Right in his creepy face. Both arrows right in its creepy face.
Oh,
One
it.
free chime. One free chime. You'll shoot your eye out. No, wait. They like stick in his eyes like as they're moving, and so the arrows are just like wiggling around.
Great. Now Petal's gonna have nightmares.
Gosh.
Already had.
I guess I'll roll with that.
I know.
I think it would go through their eyeballs. It would go through the eyeballs and out the other side, probably. But it doesn't sound as terrifying.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Now that I think about what I just said, yeah.
I'm not a fan of this.
That's one Aldani down.
Alright.
It is your animals' turns before anyone else. Then it'll be Cassandra.
Let me check to Vogue's movement speed really fast. 40 feet, okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh, actually, I don't think he. Let me see. I don't think he has a swim. He does not have a swim speed, so I'm assuming he has to difficult terrain and all that.
Yep, it would be. I think the rule of thumb is half your normal walking speed for swimming.
40. Okay. Yeah, Tavok is slowly making his way towards the other one.
Okay. And that ends his turn, I'm assuming.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Cassandra is up next, and she's a little bit disappointed that that the first one is down. She's like, oh man, I really wanted to attack that one. But instead, she decides to line up on the one in the distance. She's able to get kind of close to it on the corner. I'm stalling for time as I'm trying to pull up her character sheet to find out how far her spell can go. Well within.
Sorry, I probably should have taken out the further one, but it was close and creepy, and I knew.
No, I totally get it. She, you see Cassandra really focused this time. And for the fun of the roleplay, I have actually created enchantment incantations, or spell incantations, for each of her spells that she has. So she moves her hands. Hiems Regis er frigidus ventus et aqua. She fires frostbite. She casts frostbite in a line right for the Aldani, who has to do a Constitution saving throw. Saving throw. What does he have to beat again? He has to beat a 12, and he fails. The Aldani in the distance, who was, swimming towards you at a certain speed, all of a sudden slows significantly and stops and bobs in the water a little bit, as it has been temporarily frozen. And being that it's a warm weather creature, it's not a fan of that. It's going to take 5 cold damage. Cassandra is a little disappointed at that, and she backs up to the furthest corner away, kind of closer to Winston, moving the turn over to the Aldani. Elvira's next. The Aldani is going to move up. His speed is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Elvira is going to cast Ice Knife.
Okay. After the Aldani, then you are welcome to do that. The Aldani is going to make a multi-attack on Tavok. He attacks with his left claw and then with his right. Okay. Does an 11 or 17 hit?
No, surprisingly enough.
Oh, gosh.
I forgot how tanky this guy is.
I forgot, too.
Yeah, neither of those hit.
Okay.
A little ball of invincible dragonness.
All right. It fails both attacks, and Tavok is rather surprisingly left untouched, floating in the water.
Yeah, take that, you creepy swamp monster.
I feel like it would probably be harder to dodge attacks when in the water, but I have no idea how to rule that, so I'm not even going to try. It is Elvira's turn, and then Guy's on deck.
Yep, probably because it's frozen, right?
Yeah, let's say it's a little bit cold still, and like its claws aren't really closing all the way. Yeah. Elvira, you're up.
Speaking of being cold, I'm going to hit it with Ice Knife, but I only rolled an 8.
Okay. How does ice knife work? Is that
That's what
a
I'm saying. I think there is something after that. Like it still has to. Hold on, clear all.
is that a ranged spell?
Hit or miss, then explodes. Okay, so then the target and any creature within 5 feet, so it still has to succeed a dexterity saving throw.
But how close do you have to be to cast that and hit it?
60 feet.
50?
60 feet up
Oh.
50. Yep, 60
Oh, okay.
and up 50.
Okay, gotcha. All right, that makes sense. I had in my mind that it was you were using like you summoned an ice knife and you were hitting it with it.
Nope. This is a spell.
Okay.
So it still. I assume 8 didn't hit.
It does not, unfortunately.
So it still needs to pass a dex save.
Okay. How's an 18?
Or it just says succeed on the dexterity saving throw. So I assume 18 works.
The spell should either tell you or it would be, or you would roll an opposed check. Let's see here. Ice knife. So it needs to succeed. Dex saving throw of 15. So,
Okay.
So it passes by 3.
Oh, sorry. I see that here. Thank you. My
Yep.
bad.
Yep. No
All
problem.
right. Well, lucky it then.
Regardless, if it takes your explosive damage.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't?
Nope. If it's so okay, so I missed on the hit, right? And then that and any creature 5 feet of it have to pass a dex saving throw to not take 2d6 of cold damage from the
Okay,
explosion.
and it's save yourself, it's not partial damage?
Mhm.
Okay, my bad. Ignore me.
Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna say that it has to make another dexterity saving throw to miss that explosion, because from the way I'm reading it, it sounds like it has to succeed 2 of them.
No, don't
No.
no.
It says the target and each creature within 5 feet of it must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take
2d6.
2d6.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
look at this. It says hit or miss at the beginning of that sentence, or the preceding sentence. So your ice shard missed the first. Oh, I get it.
That's what I'm saying. Yep.
My
It
bad.
missed the initial attack. Yep.
I
I had to read
gotcha.
it a couple times too.
Gotcha. Wow, that's confusing. Okay,
It was.
right on. Sorry about that. Guy, it's your turn, and then Petals next.
Right. I'm going to go up to like the back of the raft here. I'm going to switch to my longbow. And then I am going to make an attack with a distracting strike.
Ooh, I don't know what that is.
It's one of my maneuvers. So, longbow. 10. Oh, but that. Wait, how does that work again?
There is some background noise coming from somebody. Not sure. It's gone now,
What does
though.
it sound like? Oh, wait.
Oh, it's coming from you, Eli. There's a noise in the background.
I don't hear anything.
It's gone now.
Okay. Okay, so I got a 10 to hit. When he...
10 to hit. That does not hit, unfortunately.
Oh, and I can't use that ability anyway. Okay. I can only use it if I hit. Okay. Yep, so then I get a second attack, because I get 2 attacks now. I'm going to attack it again. 23.
That hits.
Okay, I'm going to use a distracting strike. So I deal... 11 piercing damage. Yeah, I deal 11 piercing damage, and then what is it? The next attack roll against the target by an attacker other than you has advantage.
Nice. That would be for Petal. Petal gets advantage.
Yep, but only on his first attack.
Only as first attack. Okay.
Where are my arrows?
Is that the end of your turn?
Yes, that is the end of my turn. Sorry.
Okay. It's Petal's turn.
Shooting at it with my bow and arrow for a 21 to hit.
Oh, that hits.
So that'll be 13 points of piercing and 2 points of cold for my first attack. Second attack is another natural 20.
Oh my goodness. What was the damage you did on that first one?
13 point. Let me just check. Check the line. 13 points of piercing damage and 2 points of cold damage. And then 16 points of piercing damage and 10 points of cold damage for the second attack.
Man. It is staggered. It is bloodied. It is kind of listing a little bit. This thing just took a ton of damage.
Finish it off!
I think Tavoke really could.
Give me the old chop chop! With that, I will yield to Tavoke, who is going to try to bite it somewhere that looks squishy. There's a 13 hit.
Nope. Nope.
All right.
Pretty close,
He's
though.
just gnawing on chitin. Wait a minute. Hold up. Quick question.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that I have this.
Tavoke gives something by being close to the enemies, doesn't he?
I'm trying. I can't remember if Tavoke's close to the target or if Tavoke's close to the attacker.
If you want to figure it out, we can retroactively make it work for this.
Is he
turn you
within
just
30
had.
feet of me?
He is exactly 30 feet from you.
Hot diggity. Okay. Then I would like to use his reaction to add 1d6 fire damage.
Okay. Oh gosh, this thing's not going
You
to be
burned
happy.
him and froze him. With
For 4 points of fire damage.
I think you would taste good anymore after all that.
Overcooked and freezer burn.
Ew.
Cassandra is going to actually stay back here and ready her attack as a reaction in case something else is going on. She's pretty convinced that you've got it handled. On the Aldani's turn, which is next, Elvira's right after this. The Aldani submerges and disappears from your sight. And then all of a sudden, you see it come back above the surface, cleaved in half in the mouth of a giant snapping turtle that comes out of the depths of this water. You definitely couldn't see it.
Don't go swimming in swamp, Sharkan.
It has the second Aldani in its mouth and crushes it to death like a toothpick. That one is out for the count.
Is it eating it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It spends its turn munching on the Aldani and looking at you
What about the other Aldani?
with an expression on its face. The other one's dead.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
is it
both
gonna-
dead.
Is he gonna eat that one too?
Oh, you don't know yet because
Okay.
that happened during the Aldani's turn, which now passes to Elvira, whatever she would like to do.
I had such a good idea in my head, and then that, yeah, I don't know if I want. Does it notice something? Does it? Can we take a pause? I assume we're still moving, right? We're still moving, and they're still moving, and we're fighting. Okay, so
Yeah.
as one of my actions, can I take like a 2-second pause to see if the snapping turtle's like, ooh, these people? It probably is though. It's D&D.
Yeah, it'd be some kind of skill check, and then that would take your action. You could do perception if you want. You could maybe do nature. That would be fine too.
Ooh, nature. I'm doing nature. Yes, 18.
So you're trying to figure out if it wants to eat you, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Entirely unclear at the moment because it is munching on the Aldani. It hasn't made a move at you after coming up out of the water with the Aldani in its mouth. But given its combat, it's only 6 seconds, so it's hard to tell.
Either way, I'm still gonna say, kick it, Winston. Thanks, here. Come on, paddle.
Tavoke's still in the water.
Right next to it too.
Or to vote.
I think Tavoke's getting sacrificed.
Okay, so that's my turn right now, I guess. Yep.
Or recalled to the raft. Guy's turn, then pedal. Unless you're taking off and you're breaking initiative. I need to know if you're doing that.
See no need to leave initiative order.
I'm going to still have my bow. Okay, question. So I get 2 attacks.
Yeah.
Whenever I make an attack action, does that apply like if I hold my action to like with the bow?
Can you rephrase that? I didn't understand.
You know how like I can hold my action, or you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So do I still get 2 attacks?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna have my bow at the ready. So if it starts, if it ignores the second Aldani and starts moving towards us, I'm gonna shoot.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, and that's what Cassandra did too. She probably did that with meta knowledge. That makes it Petal's turn then.
Okay. Yeah. I am worried about Tavoke's safety. 85% worried about Tavoke's safety, 15% thinking about turtle shell armor for Winston, and then definitely going to attack.
Everything's armor or something like that.
Listen, you let me do a lot of fun stuff in D&D, and I'm not going to stop till you make it. So,
that's the way it should be.
Definitely opening fire. Does a 29 hit?
Yes. Dang. That's a high number. Holy cow.
A 19 for me.
Oh my gosh. What's your damage on that?
That'll be 13 points of piercing and 4 points of cold for my first attack. For my second attack, nat 1. Bummer.
Okay, so what was previously unclear as to its aggression level towards you is now abundantly obvious. The thing is mad and wants to eat you right after he finishes his snack. And how dare you bother him while he is eating? Like the nerve of some people in swamps. I can't believe it.
Kids, right?
Tavok may take his turn if he wishes, and then Cassandra will be also firing her reaction at the same time because she was holding her shot.
I would like to vote to use his reaction to give me extra fire damage.
Oh, okay.
I keep forgetting he can do that.
Yeah.
I need to start utilizing that. It's a key part of the class.
Yeah, do the thing.
For 1 point of fire damage.
1 point of fire damage. Its skin lights on fire for a moment, and then it gets submerged in the water, and it's like seemed somewhat negligible.
It did be like that.
Oops, wrong thing. And that ends his turn.
Alright, then Tavok is going to make an attack for does a 13 hit?
13 does not hit.
Again, he's just got him by like the edge of the shell, and if it wasn't for like the dog gnawing noise, he probably wouldn't even know that Tavok was there.
Tavok's like nibbling at one of the flippers, but it's so big and burly and strong that he can hardly even tell that Tavok's there. Cassandra's going to. That's Elvira. Oops.
Elvira is going to throw Tasha's mind whip at it, so it has to save and it has to pass a intelligence saving throw.
Oh, okay. I misspoke. I apologize, but I'll remember that for just a moment. I meant, yeah, Cassandra needs to...
Okay.
That was my bad.
No, you're good.
You're going to see Cassandra pull out something that she's not done before. This is going to... she kneels down on the bed of the raft, kind of looking for something. She finds a little bit of dirt that you had tracked on there. She needs a pinch of dust for this spell. And she says, Pulvis, the tomb ventus cyclone, and then right in front of you appears an elemental force resembling that of a dust devil in the square right in front of the giant snapping turtle. So
Guy kind of like looks back and is like, "Is that yours,
who are you saying that to?
Sandra?"
She's chanting and moving her hands and does not respond. She's got her eyes closed, focusing intently.
That's hers, right?
I mean,
I think so.
Riddle, you do magic stuff, right? That's hers. That's not something else we got to worry about. Okay.
Strength saving throw. It fails. It fails, and it's going to take... one d8 of... What kind of damage is that? Bludgeoning damage. And it is pushed 10 feet back from your boat. She's going to spend her bonus action to move the Dust Devil closer. Yes, she can do that. Up to 30 feet. And then that's the end of her turn. It is now the Snapping Turtle's turn. It is still close to Tavok, so it's going to make an attack. This is its first attack, I guess.
bring it, son. Tavok's not afraid. He's fearless. Mostly because I'm modeling him after Duncan, and Duncan does not know what fear is.
Does a 19 hit? Or sorry,
Just barely.
sorry, I should have said 25.
25 will hit. Yes.
All right. It's gonna do. $21 damage.
Okay.
21 slashing damage to Tavok.
Well, he's not dead. He is savagely mauled,
Yeah.
but not dead.
It's a good thing
Still not afraid.
It's a good thing
Still
he's
not
the
afraid.
spirit. Yeah, he doesn't really need to stay alive necessarily.
He didn't know fear in life. He certainly doesn't like give it heed in death. Probably why he died in the first place.
Yeah.
We haven't really talked about it. It's a touchy subject.
Someday we'll bring it up, but only once we're really close buds. Right now we're just close buds. Yeah, that ends Aldani's turn, or sorry, Snapping Turtle's turn. Elvira is next. Guys on deck.
Tasha's mind whip, so I need a intelligence saving throw.
You got it. 8. I think that probably fails.
It misses and loses. Yeah, it does not pass. So now it will take 3d6 of psychic damage, or yeah, for 12 points of damage.
Oh,
And
that's
then-
right. I don't know why I rolled it. I
Hold on,
wasn't
hold
supposed to
on.
roll that.
Okay, yeah.
So used to rolling the dice.
Okay, so it takes 3d6 of psychic damage, and it can't take a reaction until the end of its next turn. However, at that time, it has to choose between a move, an action, or a bonus action. It cannot take all three.
On the next turn?
Right. So it cannot have a reaction until next turn, and then when it does take a turn, it can only do one of those three.
Ooh.
Such an underrated spell.
That is impressive. That is really impressive. I'm going to learn all your tricks. That way I can throw you something really dangerous sometime. I know what all your tricks are.
To an enemy spellcaster, it's such an underrated spell.
That's awesome. The snapping turtle takes the 9 points of damage. It's still kind of being held back by that dust devil, which is turning more into like a water spout as it's above the water, which is kind of cool. And it becomes Guy's turn if Elvira doesn't have anything else she wants to do.
That's all I want to do.
Okay.
Okay. Attack. 9.
What are you attacking with, by the way?
Hang on. Why are all of these asleep?
Commanding presence.
I really hope he's not using a sword attack from the raft.
No, I'm not. I'm using a longbow.
Okay, good.
I would like to use my greatsword as a ranged weapon and throw it down.
That's kind of what I had envisioned.
Working on.
I don't think that would go so well.
Ah. Oh. Okay, no, that doesn't work. Okay, and then I will attack again.
Do it.
22.
That hits. Solid
Okay.
hit.
I would like to use my distracting strike again.
Okay.
That's with proper d8. So I deal 12 points of piercing damage, and Petal gets advantage on its first attack.
Nice. Yeah, dude, that's a... Okay, so Cassandra and then Elvira and now Guy, we have like boxed him in and stopped him from advancing, and now the attack rolls are going to be even better. See, that is a really effective strategy. Dang,
Mhm.
you guys are a team.
Exactly what we intended to do.
Yeah,
We are going to be
That
missed.
was the plan.
the support classes. And Petal is
Didn't even need to bring Winston in on this one.
Yeah.
Winston's just out there like trotting through. He's like the bus driver while there's like a heist going on.
Exactly. Winston's big crybaby.
I like to imagine he is taking the opportunity to like snack on lily pads as we go and like get some of his like favorite aquatic plants. He's
also,
just such a sweet boy.
He's cleaning his fur.
Right, yeah. Well, not fur.
Doing
yeah,
cat
scales.
things.
Like,
Oh, Winston, sorry.
Yeah.
I had Shere Khan in my mind.
Oh, Shere Khan is definitely just...
Maybe he just like waves.
Giant house cat.
Like inspiring purr or something.
He just like rolls over and stretches out in the sun. He kind of does one of these if he wants belly rubs.
Keegan reaches over and gives him some pets. What a good boy you are.
Maximus basically like just like.
He's doing the monkey cheer. Yeah. He's trying to intimidate the turtle from the crow's nest.
Is the monkey a bard? Does he have vicious mockery?
Oh, if only.
That would be great. Well, you
find a druid that can cast Awakening. We're doing it.
It is your turn, Petal, and you have advantage on your first attack roll. There we go.
Does 22 hit?
Yeah. 12.
12 points of piercing damage and 7 points of cold damage.
Oh, that bow is really paying
almost
off.
max damage on the piercing and max damage on...
Right on. That's pretty sweet.
Digging it. Attack number 2. 24 to hit. 8 points of piercing damage and 2 points of cold damage. 10 total.
Dang. Did you say that was Tavok's attack? Or
No, that was
was
my second attack.
Okay. Gotcha. Wow. Good hit.
Next up, we'll have Tavok attack. He has been savagely mauled, but he does not care. He's not afraid. He gets a natural 1.
What is fear?
Right. He's not afraid, but he is pretty tore up, and so like his arms aren't working so good, so he's kind of like sinking a little bit in the water.
He makes a lunge for the snapping turtle, gets a mouthful of water.
Yeah.
He's just gargling water, trying not to choke. Poor Tavok. He'll make it, but it's not going to be easy. Cassandra is going to continue. Actually, I can't. Shoot, I forgot how long this lasts. Up to a minute. Okay, so she's got several rounds. Was it 10 rounds?
10 rounds.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it's been. Okay. He makes another strength saving throw. Gotta beat a 12. Boy, what I wouldn't give for a 4th monitor would make it easier. Does not succeed. Takes 1d8 of bludgeoning damage for 8 damage. Seals the creature's fate. Cassandra makes the final blow with her dust devil as it surrounds its face, and the creature is now having the very air sucked out of its lungs. The air and water, it can breathe both. It snaps, and a big clot of something, it's probably like a piece of driftwood or something that was in the dust devil, hits it square in the face, which does just enough bludgeoning damage that the thing goes, splashes in the water, stays afloat. You're slowly kind of pulling away from it as Winston's still pulling you, but it's dead. It's floating there, and you are out of combat.
Ooh, I'm gonna ask Winston to slow down. I'm gonna get him to stop so that we can go get the big turtle.
Hey, buddy, will you please stop?
How large is this turtle? Is it a size large creature or is it a huge creature?
Large.
Large. Okay.
Large creature, so I think it'd be safe.
Not.
It seems to me that the shell would probably fit like on Winston's back, and it would make like, I don't know why you would want to do that, but it would fit on his back if you wanted to.
Well, we're definitely getting some turtle meat for starters. I'm sure it's delicious. I don't know. I've never had the pleasure.
Just eat everything at this point.
We should just rename this to Dan's.
It's what I do.
Dan's Food of Annihilation.
Dan's Food of Annihilation.
Buffet of Annihilation.
Definitely for some turtle meat.
The total amount of XP you get is 700 plus.
Ooh, or guys, we could use the canoe. We could use the shell to make like a little boat, like a canoe.
Yeah.
Like-
armored canoe.
Like a what do they call it? Coracle? What do they call that thing? Little
I
boat.
think I know what you're talking about.
We could leave Winston somewhere safe while we like row ashore in the canoe.
For that encounter, you will later receive this divided by 3, but it was 900 XP for that. That was a pretty solid creature.
Is that's accounting for the lobster people too?
Yes, that's everything. I even threw in a little bit, even though you didn't kill that second Aldani. Let's have a quick 5 so that we can all get... Yeah, I need to hit the restroom. we will resume. That might be a bit loud. So you've harvested your giant snapping turtle. Congratulations. That was the most fitting creature I could throw in there once I realized that the Aldani were way too easy.
Oh, that was perfect. That was absolutely spectacular reinforcement.
Thing that kept running through my mind was that scene in The Phantom Menace where there's always a bigger fish. Which is why I was hoping that it would be like that bigger fish and just keep going.
No.
There's always a bigger fish. At least that's what Obi-Wan
It's
said.
become like, I don't know if you can limp and doggy paddle at the same time, but he's going to doggy paddle limp back to the raft. All right, buddy, you take a break.
He looks
take a rest.
tuckered out, man. If a spirit could be tired, he's tired.
He's got 9 hit points.
Yeah.
He's below a third.
Cassandra finally lets the Dust Devil settle, and the rushing sound of wind and water finally recedes, and you can hear just kind of off in the distance the sounds of the swamp come back to you. You hear some birds chirping. It sounds calm, like maybe the danger has been completely dealt with. Hard to tell. This is Chult after all. But you are now back on your way. Unless you want to do something else, I'm going to assume you're continuing.
Listen, if our raft and/or what is now, I assume, a train of boats, once we get the shell appropriately turned into a canoe, if we acquire any more things, we're going to need a second Triceratops to add to our team here to keep our little I assume is eventually going to become a moving fortress boat going upriver. You know what's the good thing about this turtle shell boat is eventually we're going to have to abandon this raft somewhere, but we can put the turtle shell canoe on Winston's back and keep trucking.
That is brilliant. Okay, love that idea. That's super cool. I would totally do that as a player. Okay, so I had a train of thought. What was it? We'll go with the next train of thought. As this battle and the disassembling, we could say, of this snapping turtle has taken some time, the sun rises a little bit higher in the sky. It's definitely closer to midday. I'd say it's about 10:30-ish in the morning. Let's get a quick perception check from whoever is the kind of the scout, or not scout, but the watch on this boat. Probably be good to establish an official one.
I can do it. I mean, Pedal
I was
doesn't
like,
have-
yeah, you're welcome to. I would probably be pretty consumed with trying to process and store the turtle meat, start the smoking process. Pedal is definitely envisioning some sort of small portable Traeger with all of the meat that we've been harvesting. So
14 perception.
Okay, you notice that there are some darker clouds kind of coming up on the horizon. Not exactly horizon, you can't really see horizon. The trees are shorter here, I should make note, because this is the jungle section. They're not nearly as tall as those massive trees in the jungle portion that you just exited. So you can see more of the sky around you. And definitely off in the distance, pretty much impossible to say how far, there are dark clouds that are rolling in, and they dark gray bordering on black in color.
Okay. Hey y'all. Well, wait. This is night watch, right?
No, it's daytime.
Oh,
Good morning.
daytime.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's about
Yeah.
10:30.
Hey y'all. We've got a storm rolling in from what direction?
Oh, good question. Northwest.
We got a storm rolling in from the northwest, y'all.
Can I nature check to see if I can like make a guess about how farther away the storm is?
Yep, and you have some additional. Um, I never gave you a solid number, but I did tell you that Kermit taught you a little bit about weather patterns before you left,
Okay.
about how to identify weather. So the check's going to be a little easier. But yes, if you want to do nature check, you can glean some information on that.
320.
Oh, excellent. So you're trying to figure out how far away it is?
Yep.
Probably 25 minutes. You can
Relay this to the
yeah, you can see it moving, and it's also kind of coming in from two different directions. So it's likely that the storm is going to pass over you, not go around.
watch
The
out.
weather on your planet is just absolutely ridiculous.
With
And then we should probably be out of the water, like, yeah, if it's too bad.
with your previous
Electric storm.
perception check, and with you traveling a little bit further, you notice that off on the right side of the river, I almost used nautical terms, on the port side, no, starboard is right. Port is left, because left has 4 letters and port has 4 letters. That's how I remember. On the starboard side, the right side, you see a stone structure. There's 4 pillars and kind of a little bit of a crumbly roof. It's definitely still in the water, but the water's pretty shallow. It's not huge, but it's it's also somewhat obscured because you're not quite up to it yet.
Do we want to keep pushing through the storm and keep going, or do we want to hunker down and take a break?
I said we at least take a look at this place and hunker down.
I mean, we should investigate any ruins that we find.
Right.
But do we want to make that part of the break, or do we want to do that and then keep going? I mean, honestly, I welcome the rain because it's about the only time in Chult that I am not swelteringly hot. Throwing it out there.
What do you think,
Let's just see what
Guy?
it is first.
He's indisposed at this moment. I'm going to have Cassandra make an intelligence check to see what she thinks. Let's see if she's intelligent enough to know what you should do. 17.
Down with whatever.
Let's just see what it is first. That's what I said.
Given Cassandra's high roll, she's going to say it looks ominous to me.
The weather does.
Yeah, the weather. Sorry, not the structure.
Okay, I was curious. I was like,
Well, you know what? We got this turtle to deal with. I got to smoke a bunch of meat and like start making a turtle canoe. Yeah, let's wait the storm out. We can work on some projects. Charcon's been eyeing the pile of turtle meat.
did you say there was water like inside of the structure too, though?
Yeah, there's some standing water at the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably like 6 inches of water. It's not horrible, but it's also not super enticing looking. Around that structure, there's really not much more other than like mangrove trees. the mangrove swamp trees, and just more water. I mean, this area is pretty devoid of much of anything. But when you pull up close to it, you see the structure actually is kind of elongated. It's not square, it's rectangle. So you could definitely fit all of your party underneath the roof if you wanted to shelter from the storm. In the center of that, there is a column that has some inscribed writing on it.
I've got a question for after we're done with checking out the ruins or whatever. I would like to, never mind.
Go ahead.
I would like to check out the map and like see how close I guess we should be to Camp Vengeance. I guess, but like I want to see if like we should have gotten to it by now, or if we're still
Sure.
pretty far out there.
Let's move you back to that map. It's going to take a second to load. Always takes a while. There's a lot of stuff on here. You can hear some thunder in the distance, by the way.
I'm gonna be sleeping now.
Have I found your sleep trigger?
I mean, I hope so.
Okay.
I mean, I hope so.
So you're trying to figure out how close you are to Camp Vengeance. It's difficult to say. Based on the sun's position in the sky, you believe your bearing is northwest.
Northwest. Like this. Okay.
And for your reference, I'm going to draw a red X of where you were when you started today. You were right here in that hex. Okay, as you are looking, you start to hear what I can describe as the sounds of impact in the distance.
Hail?
Ew.
And within about 5 minutes of hearing that sound, you are now engulfed by a very loud and very powerful storm. There is hail coming down everywhere. These trees are getting not ripped to shreds, but there's some serious damage being done to them. The winds have picked up, and the trees are swaying in the wind. Winston doesn't seem to care, and he is outside of the shelter munching on some food. I'm inspiring this entirely off of my cattle didn't seem to care about the hailstorm that hit last year, even though it was devastating. It was like a back massage to them. Like if you look over and you can see the comical sight of hailstones like bouncing off of his bony crest on his head. As he is just like got his head pointed down, just munching on some swamp food. Shar Khan looks pretty miserable as he is just soaked. He's pacing around underneath the structure, looking around for the driest place for him to stand, which there is none.
Poor Shar Khan.
Yeah. Poor cat. Cat hates the water.
Liz was telling me that tigers, uncharacteristically of cats, actually love the water.
Oh.
I had heard.
Yeah.
Where did you learn that?
Animal Planet?
Animal Planet.
Where were you in the 90s and early 2000s? I don't
I
know.
like Animal Planet too.
Okay.
I must be the channel. I totally know.
Maybe he doesn't hate the water so much. Maybe he's just like a little nervous about the hailstorm coming down. After 5-10 minutes, it has switched primarily to rain. You're down to a rainstorm now. But as you look out among you, you see just damage to everything in sight. So it's a really good thing you got under cover. But this column in front of you has really gotten the attention of Cassandra. She's trying to light a torch, but it's really wet.
I will take out my sword and provide her with light.
All of a sudden, light. Oh,
Only.
Could be light.
oh, thank you, Guy.
You're welcome.
I tried to figure out what
Trying to read it.
this inscription is. It doesn't look like a script that I know. It's very strange. Does anyone read this? Go ahead, let's see. Does anyone... Oh, I have your sheets. I can tell you without giving it away. Okay, 2 of you can. Guy and Elvira, you're able to read this script. It is written in Dwarvish, oddly enough. Some weird variation of Dwarvish. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense that it's written in Dwarvish. I just picked that one at random. So there's no lore importance to what script it's written in. I just wanted you to be able to read it.
These dwarves got super lost, yeah.
I know, like, they're way away from the mountains. What are they doing in the swamp?
There's not Chultan dwarves. There could be
No, there
Chultan
can't be, but
dwarves.
not in the swamp. Get further away from
Dwarves.
Actually,
Seen their beards, man. They gotta keep those things well.
I just remembered something. No, it totally is Dwarvish. I take back what I said about it not making sense. It makes total sense. I forgot about something. Okay, it's Dwarvish.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's just what happens when I get nervous and I'm not sure what to think. Like, this seems lame. So I'm going to explain it away. It says that... Did I write
Do
it?
you have like a text file you can copy? And then we can read it to the group?
If I had written it down, I would.
Oh,
I'm really it's talking about a temple dedicated to the dwarvish god that resides here in Chult, or at least rules over Chult. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Hang on a second. I apologize. I apparently was not as prepared as I thought I was.
no worries. Elvira, how do you know Dwarvish?
I don't remember. I'm sure it's back in my backstory somewhere. No, I live in like a mountain range called, I can't remember the name of right now.
That's a really strangely named mountain.
It really is. Like the Stardew or something like that. I don't know, I'm from the mountains. So there are dwarvish communities around mine.
Neat.
Okay, I got it now. So it's talking about an abstract god of that they worship here in this jungle, and it has descriptions of their history, of the sacrifices they would make to this god. It recounts historical accounts of their culture, their trade with other nations here in the Chultan jungle. Apparently, they have an odd history with the Tabaxi. There's some very serious animosity between the two of them. It also accounts how they used to live underground here in Chult, but then they were forced to leave due to a serious volcanic eruption that happened here in Chult. And ever since then, they have been wandering somewhat aimlessly, looking for a new subterranean a place to call home. They were forced to leave where they originally were, being that they are not really above ground type of people. They prefer to be under the ground. They struggle with the local inhabitants. It seems like this group of dwarves is definitely separate from what you're used to from the greater area of Faerun. And there are a couple depictions, as in like pictures, maybe hieroglyphics, something like that, on this that show
Please.
white albino dwarves.
Please tell me they're like some kind of Aztec dwarves with like the big headdresses and like
The picture, actually, I can show you what it looks like.
Okay.
This is what you see on one of the on the pillar. Is a physical depiction of their appearance.
Jungle
Oh.
dwarves.
They apparently have long ponytails and hula skirts.
I like it.
Along with massive tattoos and big beards. And they carry spears.
I don't like the look of them tattoos. Can I reread the part about sacrifices? What did they sacrifice?
What did they sacrifice? It's not specific.
Why are you assuming they sacrifice things?
Because it said they sacrificed things.
Does not
Right?
say that. Does not say exactly.
It doesn't say what they sacrificed, or I thought you said they sacrificed.
It doesn't say what they
Here, one more
sacrificed.
time.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. There was apparently a dwarvish outpost not too far from here, a little bit further north where the land is drier. And there is, it gives a, well, it doesn't give you directions. That'd be kind of weird if it did. It describes the area as just shy of the mountains, and you can tell by looking northwest that there's some mountains in the distance. Probably about 30 miles, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay, yeah, about 30 miles to the northwest. There are some mountains. By now, the storm has cleared, and you're.
Does the stone talk about what this place was that we're in right
Nope.
now? Okay.
It's some ritualistic place that has lore written all over it. It's kind of like the Egyptian hieroglyphic walls in their tombs and stuff like that. Yeah, it just has bits and pieces of information of an ancient culture.
Does it say anything about like their wars? Or right.
They fight with the Tabaxi.
Yeah.
And then you would just know from your understanding of dwarves to begin with that they don't get along too well with goblins, which definitely live in this jungle.
I mean, no one gets along well with goblins.
Hey,
Hobgoblins too.
my cousin is a goblin.
Okay, sorry, I'm trying to. Anyways, I wonder if we'll see any what's it, dwarves over here. Maybe we'll run into some in Camp Vengeance.
Or possibly when we head towards the
The
ruins to find the guardian statue.
Mhm. They'll be useful if we need to go through the mountains.
Yeah, if we have to get through mountains, it would be nice to meet some friendly dwarves.
That it would.
All right, well, you guys, with the rain flooding up, we want to get back at it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, the rain clears up. You go a little further and you start passing out of the swamp back into normal jungle. The waters start to get very narrow and extremely shallow.
Abandon our raft shallow, or
Like,
push?
it's rapidly becoming a creek rather than a river.
Oh.
And we're not yet to Camp Vengeance.
Nope.
All right, guys, we may need to start piling up all of our equipment on Winston's back.
Yep.
I'm thinking saying we're gonna do with the 2 watercraft we have.
Well, one of them.
Obviously, we're gonna have to leave the turtle shell.
Obviously, that's the one we take.
What if like before the next time we run into a creek like this, we can build like kind of like fold down wheels onto the raft,
and then we can pull it
and roll it across.
That's a cool idea.
Amphibious vehicle. I like it.
Yep.
The pioneers.
Powered by dynamite.
Oh. Oh dear.
I know my eat. I don't know.
Well, now that things have cleared up and you're back on your way, it's past noon. Took a little while for all that to happen. So you have made it 10 miles so far today. And you have reached the end of this passable water.
Okay. So we are going to have to beach our boat here.
Yeah. Yep.
Alrighty.
It ends in what is kind of like just a little trickle that disappears into the underbrush.
Given that this turtle shell is, I'm assuming, very, very sturdy and also probably fairly smooth, could Winston pull it like a sled, or is the jungle too dense for that?
He's definitely strong enough he could. I think the jungle's kind of a little dense, but
walk through the creek bed.
Yeah.
Better than we could.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be riding Sharkan. You guys can do whatever you want.
Well, I got Queen.
So
You need a ride guide?
I will ride Winston. If Winston's
Yep.
okay, is Winston good with that?
the creek narrows to about 5 feet across, and it has a river rock pebble base with the water over top of it. So it's now down to a few inches of water over top of those pebbles. And there's a couple different sources. There's 2 or 3 different little streams feeding into what you just left. And you could totally... What's that?
Sorry. If it's okay, I would like to take a second and get our raft all the way up onto dry land and make sure that it's in a position to where tie it to a tree or something, so that when we come back through, we won't have to build a new raft.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I mean, we've traveled a good ways with it.
Uh-huh. Absolutely.
I will be right back.
Okay. Yeah, you tie it off pretty easily. Let's see here. Okay. All of you notice that there's a greater density of like birdsong in this area. In fact, the more perceptive of you, I'm thinking Petal, and I think the other one was Guy. Yeah, those two. You notice that it almost sounds kind of rhythmic. Interestingly enough.
Very pretty.
As you go up this creek bed, which eventually disappears after a few hundred feet, and it just becomes like this rocky section. The terrain is changing. Beneath you, it's not so much muddy, dirty, soily. It's becoming more firm, more solid. You're definitely getting away from the water quite significantly.
Area. Like, do we need to go back to the map? I don't.
I'm pretty sure we're going the right way.
You happen upon a clearing, and the vegetation around this clearing is also a little bit different than what you've seen before, though Petal and Elvira.
Sorry.
Your favorite one.
Petal and Elvira, you get a weird sense that you've seen this plant before.
Very odd. Can I do an investigation check?
Uh-huh.
Can't do an nature.
Yes.
18 for that investigation check.
Yeah, it looks distinctly like one of the vines that you encountered in the Temple of Thrond.
The assassin vine?
Yes.
Is that what I would find with a nature check, or would that be something like? Is it worth doing?
Well, I think you both know
Okay.
with that check. I'm sure he would tell you. He wouldn't tell you to go walk over to it, would he? Hey, Elvira, those look like fruit-bearing plants.
Ooh, Elvira, should we try and get more assassin vine seed pods?
That could be cool.
Because we already got some seed pods. I'm just saying. If you ever decide to like set up a fortress somewhere.
Right. Are there any like that low hanging fruit?
From the assassin vine?
Yes.
No. There's a few flowers. Could definitely take some flowers, some blooms from it, but it is an assassin vine after all.
Right. I was hoping there was like some seed pods hanging that I could chop off with my short sword, grab and run away like a punk.
What I'm gonna try and do. Remind me to get more arrows while I'm in Camp Vengeance. I'm only gonna try this one time. But I never really used my longbow. I'm gonna try and shoot one down.
You know, you do have a 10-foot pole there, Zach. Things that
You do have a 10-foot pole. I'm gonna poke it with my 10-foot pole.
I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Or, speaking of not touching something with a 10-foot pole, if that doesn't work, the guy and I can go poke at one side of it, so it's like to that side, while you run up and just blip with it.
I like this. I'm gonna first try to knock a seed pod off with a 10-foot pole. What kind of check do you want for that?
Just come over without intention.
Athletics?
Athletics.
I think.
Yeah.
That's fair.
The one thing he's not good at.
Oh.
6.
And you're swiping at it with the pole.
Yeah, I got the pole and I'm trying to like knock off one of the seed pods.
Yeah, it's the first couple prods at it, you kind of miss your target, and then you get frustrated and you take a swipe at it, and it just kind of bounces off. The vine doesn't seem to react
Pedal
to that.
here, pedal. Let me take a
Swipe at it.
yeah, take a well, not a literal swipe at it, but let me take a stab at it. Take a poke at it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
So
I appreciate
it's
this.
athletics.
Yeah.
Okay. 21.
You knock one down, and it falls straight off of the plant, but now it's sitting below the vine.
I kind of like line it up, like kind of like a weird pool shot, but with a giant. Just like,
Dunk. There's a seed pod on the ground, or flower, whichever you wanted.
I would like to make an athletic or acrobatics check to do like some sort of ninja roll, scoop up the seed pod, and keep going. And hopefully I don't get caught by the assassin now.
Okay.
Because what is this game if not risking your life for no reason? Dirty 20?
Hmm.
Let's see if it...
cafe.
Yes, success.
Yeah.
You do a very, very nice Assassin's Creed roll. Tuck it under your arm like a football, and you pair on the other side in a crouch position with your treasure in hand. You hear a almost like a whip sound, and behind you you see the vine struck out to try to like grab you, but missed.
Nice. All right, Elvira, we gotta add this to our ever-growing stash of ridiculous items.
Great thing.
I gotta give you enough random stuff that when you get to the end, you're like, okay, what are we gonna do? We're gonna wait 2 months for this assassin vine to grow, stick it in a minecart, and push it down the tunnel. And then it's gonna...
No. At some point, we're gonna like have our own fortress or whatever, and I'm gonna plant this everywhere. All along the wall. All along the wall.
Protection.
Also,
that would be so cool. That would be so cool. I really want to do that. Sometime in this campaign, you guys have to claim a plot of land for whatever your party name is, which I don't think you have one.
we're gonna need one.
You better start thinking of a name, because you're going to have to name your fort. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how you're going to beat the Plucked Monkey. That was a pretty good name for the
That was
boat.
a pretty good name.
Yeah.
Which is why we have stashed it so securely.
Yeah.
Because one, it was like a spectacular. I rolled so good on my rolls to make that. We are not just going to abandon it to the elements.
I put a lot of work into tanning that pterosaur hide.
Yes, there was a lot of work went into that whole project. Although I feel like our sail probably ended up being used as like shelter more than an actual sail. But
It worked.
Speaking of flying creatures, pretty much all of you notice that you are no longer alone in this clearing. If you look above you, there are some medium humanoid black feathered creatures that are perched on a couple branches above you.
That's disturbing looking.
There's
I'm gonna like set the 10-foot pole down and go to the book of all the horrible
The
things
Book
that
of
we
Learning.
used today.
The Book of Exposition.
The Book of Nightmares. The Book of Nightmares.
All right. Roll for your identification with a nature check.
Nature, if I help, like, yeah, I have a really good nature modifier.
Oh,
So remember how previously you let me do an investigation because I was looking for like a certain type of creature that specifically had eye stalks?
yeah.
Wait. Can you describe these humanoids again?
They're winged, black feathered, and they're medium size, and they have black beaks,
Okay.
large black eyes. There are 3 of them.
Okay, I will look for winged humanoids with an investigation.
Look with advantage.
While he's doing that, I'm going to stall for time and try to engage them in conversation. Hello there, glorious.
Natural 1
Natural 1?
with advantage.
What?
Well, I am afraid you know everything about these creatures.
Wait. Guys, I think those are bat.
Yeah, you are
Pretty sure those are bats.
100% sure that these are bat folk. Everything.
Yeah, just regular bat.
By the way, did you like the boulder folk earlier?
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, these are large bats to Guy. Petal, what are you going to say to them?
Hello there, fellow travelers. How are you?
Don't think
As I very subtly try to get my bow off my shoulder and stash my assassin vine pod.
What language are you speaking to them?
I will start out in common, and if I don't get a response, I will go to Sylvan. Seeing as that is one of the many, that is like the root for most of the nature languages.
You don't get really a response from Sylvan. They kind of squawk a little bit, but it doesn't seem to be really connecting. Maybe just a little bit.
Okay. I'll try Elvish,
Okay.
and if I still don't get anything, I'll really hope this isn't it. I'll try the last language that I know, which is Infernal. Really hoping that they'll come into it.
Yeah. No, I don't think they would respond to it Infernal, but they did. There's a positive response to the Elvish. One of them does. The other 2 don't seem to respond to it, but it does. It disappears from sight for a moment behind the tree, and it comes down. It's now coming out of the bushes on the ground, walking towards you. Not fast, not aggressively, just walking towards you.
That's not a bat.
What you see before you is a massive raven humanoid.
Okay. I like this. I will continue to converse with it in Raven, or in Elvish. I don't speak Raven. I feel like that's culturally insensitive and very disrespectful. You are like elven noises.
So here's the deal with that. He appears to understand you, but he can't respond in anything other than squawks. He does take his feather, his wing, and kind of almost like closes some of his feathers, almost like a hand, and keeps the pinion feather out. And he reaches down on the dirt and he draws. He writes something. It's very messy. It's hard to read because he's using his feathers to do it. But it's one word in Elvish. It's friend ?
I'm saying yes, yes. We greet you with peaceful intent.
Does anyone else speak Elvish? Cassandra does.
Elvira might.
Elvira does. So the only one who doesn't understand right now is Guy, unfortunately. Guy is just completely in the dark. He doesn't know what these creatures are. He has no idea what you guys are speaking. He feels very left out.
Cassandra, what's going on?
Cassandra's going to become your translator for you and tell you what's going on. Though even
They
she's...
say they like all of us, but that you smell funny.
Yeah.
That's rude. Not as rude as the other things we've run into, but still pretty rude.
I mean, listen, they're not trying to kill us. That's that's better than almost everything else in Chult.
The Raven, which I'm just going to refer to it by its actual name. I would think by now you'd probably be able to identify it. It's a Kenku, is what it's called. He Zach's excited.
Me too.
I like the Kenku. They're kind of cool.
I was gonna play in one as a different campaign, but that never panned out.
Yeah, so he engages with you in conversation, just basic stuff right now, trying to identify who you are, what you're doing here. He explains that this is Kenku territory, but as long as you are friendly to him and his not flock. Well, yeah, flock. We'll say flock. No, it's a murder of ravens, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's an unkindness of ravens and a murder of crows.
Murder of crows, but what was it again?
An unkindness.
Who came up with these?
Very, very bored people.
Okay.
Some guy stuck in a cabin somewhere, like some settler who had nothing better to do.
Okay, so I'm going to say his tribe instead, because that just sounds better.
Yeah.
He establishes that he's from the tribe of a sound that you aren't able to actually articulate because of your vocal cords being the wrong shape. And yeah. So you basically you figure that it's the tribe Squawk, and that's like his tribe's name. And he also has a name which you cannot pronounce. And he asks you if you want worm food. That's how he refers to. He's offering you worm food.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't think we can eat worm food. Do you eat snake or turtle? Because you would be welcome to share a meal with us.
He says those are both very good worm food.
Oh, then yes, please come share our fire and join us for a meal in a show of friendship and good faith.
Yeah, he's now joined by the other two who have actually climbed down from the trees. They did not fly down. And he actually gestures with his wing. He wants you to come with him. He wants to take you to the tribe of Squawk. He says they're most hospitable, and he wants to trade. He wants to trade with you.
We would love to trade. I am going to quickly have a very stern conversation with Shah Khan.
Now, be a good kitty. No eat birds.
Friends, not food. Friends, not
Birds
food.
are friends,
Don't be
not
yourself.
food.
You'll be just fine.
I really need to get Speak with Animals as a spell. It would really help.
I'd say you spend enough time with Shah Khan that he listens to your commands. He may not be excited about that, but he's going to listen to it for sure.
I'll give you extra turtle. It's fine.
I know, bird is appetizing, but not this bird.
Not this bird.
Not good bird.
Turtle, we got lots of turtle. Lots of turtle. We still have a good amount of steak. You're going to be fine.
Turtle is good cat food. Yeah, the lead Kenku, who you've been speaking with, takes you on a short walk 2 or 3 minutes through the woods, and he brings you to an abandoned village. You're still heading northwest.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And this is a new clearing. Oh, well, that's not what I meant to do. There we go. What was I saying? It's another clearing. It's a much bigger one, and inside of that clearing there are a bunch of kind of rundown wooden homes. I actually have a picture I want to share with you. I have to find it.
What question?
Yes.
Real quick. So where we just came from, that 2 to 3 minute walk back, what is there? Is Winston there? Did we leave anything there?
I'm gonna take everything with us.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Winston carries most of our trade goods, anyways.
yeah, was that where we left the raft?
No, it's a good distance.
Raft and back.
I didn't
Okay.
give a specific distance. It's at least it's probably about a half an hour behind you.
Okay. And is that half an hour to the southeast then?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Is this the one I wanted to show you? Sure, this will work. Okay. If you direct your eyes to the it's called the TTRPG voice call chat. I know it's a mouthful. It should have uploaded there. That is that is kind of what it looks like.
You know what that reminds me of, Dan? Vietnam.
Actually, yeah.
I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. For some reason, they're speaking Vietnamese.
It's pretty much as you see in the photo in front of you, the image in front of you, minus the little bit at the top that seems to be kind of floating. That's not really there. We'll say that's just kind of like a hillside that's kind of tall. It's we'll say it's the base of the foothills becoming the mountains further to the north of you. There's definitely a lot of foliage cover. This village is long deserted from its original owners, but you can see moving around in it on the ground, not in the air, are more Kenku.
I would like to tell them that they have a wonderful, very serene-looking village here.
Yeah, as you come in and you're speaking, the Kenku that were in this village that you have not really dealt with yet squawk kind of confusedly at you. They don't appear to understand you. In fact, out of your interaction, it seems like there might only be one Kenku that actually understands the Elvish, and it's probably the one, and it's the one you're talking to.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like this is not actually a natural language for them to speak. They speak their own tongue, but this one just happens to understand Elvish to a degree.
Okay.
Why are they squawking at us?
Well, I don't think. I think only one of them speaks Elvish.
Yeah.
I don't think they speak a language we understand.
I think they're actually talking to each other, probably.
Yeah. Not everything's about you guys.
As they're usually doing the thing.
Poor
Sam
guy.
is Petal, the most self-obsessed character in the group.
Yeah, they sort of gather around and start looking at you. One of them comes up behind Guy and is like poking at your armor inquisitively, like wondering what it is. He's kind of a little bit obsessed with the shininess, it seems, of your chainmail. One of them isn't paying very much attention and then notices Sharkan and goes, "Go, go, go!" Jumps and flapping, like trying to fly, but it doesn't actually get anywhere off the ground and takes off for one of the huts. And the other Kenku around basically laugh at it in however a raven laugh would sound like. And then they and the one that you've been speaking to in Elvish says that one was always a foolish egg chick.
Okay. I will chuckle. I will force a chuckle. So as to share in the mocking of this friend. Trying to be very diplomatic. Like, yes, your friend is an idiot.
He finds it quite funny and enjoys a quick laugh, and he at this point he says something in his tongue to the others, and they kind of begrudgingly disperse and go back to what they were doing, and he kind of directs you over to one of the bigger buildings.
Even the one that was like investigating my armor.
Yes, yeah, he keeps his distance. He doesn't really leave. He's definitely interested in what you have. And the main Kenku goes into the big building, bringing you with him. And inside, you can tell that this used to be a rather civilized living space by the previous owners, except that it has been trashed by birds. There's nesting material everywhere. There are all kinds of like broken eggs on the ground. Like, they definitely have been nesting in this building. He takes you into a different chamber where it's a little bit better cleaned, and there's a lot less activity in here. And inside of there is one very large Kenku, very large, and he has a much bigger plume than the others. The Kenku in front of you bows, says something in his tongue, and then stands upright. Then he kind of gestures towards you and says some things in the squawks that you can't understand, and waits to hear back from the other one. The other one responds in something, again, you don't understand. Your Kenku bows, takes you back out of that chamber, back into the main room of there, and then he explains that is the chief, big Kenku chief, and it is. He basically says it is good thing that big chief like you. If big chief no like you, you leave, no trade. But because big chief like you, we trade.
Thank you. I'm honored by the acceptance acceptance of big chief.
And then he says, but we trade tomorrow. You want worm food now?
Yes, let's prepare worm food now, and I'll go to back to Winston and pull out like a sizable quantity of probably like at least the like all of the snake, like smoked snake meat that we still have.
Oh yeah, the last of it. Yep.
Yeah, and then a good chunk of the turtle, and trying to be good guests here and share some food. I'm gonna use my spices to make it all delicious.
You know, a little bit of food before business never hurt anything.
Right? Yeah. showing proper appreciation for hospitality is almost never a bad idea.
Absolutely.
I am an envoy. Diplomacy is my mission. Um,
Okay, I'm looking up something here, but while I do that, it's it's probably about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Um, some of the Kenku seem to be actually retreating back to their huts, and things seem to get a little quieter. Um, if anyone wants to do a nature check, I can explain.
I got that one.
yes, please do.
Got it. Yes. 19.
Okay. You surmise that it's because they're generally nocturnal, that these creatures prefer to be out at night. But they also can handle the day pretty well too. They just prefer to be out when it's a little bit darker. And 3 in the afternoon is pretty like late at night for them.
Okay.
If that makes sense from their perspective.
That does make sense. Yes.
Well, I will produce I will cook up a delicious meal of smoked snake and spiced turtle meat for our guide, and I'm assuming Big Chief and whoever else wants to partake. I mean, we got lots.
Got plenty.
and I can do good berry for us if we get hungry later, so it's fine.
Real quick question. So what else do we have to trade exactly other than the food?
Assassin pod things.
Oh my gosh, I have so much random stuff.
We have the silk from the spider webs. We have the spider venom.
Right, I got spider venom. I have a bag of gourmet mushrooms.
Raisins, maybe? I think
assorted rubies. Yeah.
Oh, keep the rubies.
Assassin vine seed pods. Boots of stone that let you turn into a statue for 24 hours.
Crocodile leather. Let's see what they got though.
Yeah, crocodile leather, giant emerald gemstone, giant snake skin, pristine petals. I don't remember why I have 9 pristine petals, but I do.
That is what you pulled from the other assassin vine.
Ah, gotcha.
Excuse me.
They're like they're tiny statues of petal carved from marble. Yep, that's what they are.
It's canon now.
I also have something called monster plant seeds.
That was probably what you pulled from the assassin vine. The petals you got from something else. It was a potion ingredient you grabbed.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
that was from the lilac and purple flower that you found in the jungle. That's right.
Yeah.
That's what the pristine petals are from.
Do we still have that wine?
You can make wine.
We have several bottles of 100-year wine.
Oh, I forgot about that. Thank you for that opportunity for me to gather some items that they have to trade with you.
Let's do that. Spider fang, spider silk, more spider venom, vial of ectoplasm, and then obviously, seeing as they like shiny things, gold and silver coins, baby.
Okay.
And so we see what they have because they'll go nuts. They see like the rubies and stuff.
So, Kenku tells you that it is getting late and he must retire for the and he will be ready to trade again by by what would be your morning. So the next morning for you, he will be available, but it is late. He gestures towards a nesting area and offers that you sleep as well. Little bit of a disconnect. He does not necessarily understand completely how your day-night cycle works and when you're awake and when you're not. He also kind of talks to you as if you are also a Kenku. Doesn't fully grasp the idea that you're human or elvish, depending on the person. So, but yes, he is offering you a place to nest for the day.
Thank you very much. We greatly appreciate a safe, dry place to rest.
Awesome. If you want to fast forward through the night, that's kosher. If that sounds good.
And by night, you mean day?
Yeah.
Right?
You would
said
be
by our morning.
You'd be waking up. You'd be able to trade probably about 8 a.m. your time.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
So
I'm gonna curl up with Shere Khan just to make sure he doesn't go for a midnight snack.
and Kenku doesn't fully grasp. There's a little bit of confusion. He understands you sleep at night, but he also thinks that you should be sleeping at this time because that's what's normal for him. So he doesn't fully, it doesn't completely click. That's what I'm trying to say. So he's willing to trade at 8 a.m. ish. That's a more reasonable time. The sun isn't as high in the sky.
Sounds great.
Okay. When he wakes up, he offers you some more worm food, and whether or not you take that, he once you're ready to go, he takes you to a different building, and this is round about the same size, and it is just full of Kenku, just full of them. They are everywhere, and as you walk in, you hear the excited crows of these raven people. As they are looking. The one that was interested in your chainmail is back. Definitely still poking and prodding, trying to feel it. In fact, he might have taken a hasty peck at it too, with his beak. And you bat at him, and he backs away, but he's still on you like a bloodhound.
Looks like you got a friend there, guy.
Curiosity killed crow, man.
Ah!
I prefer not to kill any of these people.
Let's not do that.
We're not doing that.
Yeah.
No, I was just.
We have very few friends.
That's generally inadvisable.
I'm going to go stand next to Petal and Shere Khan.
That probably makes that one Kenku keep his distance, but the one that you know bids you to sit in the middle. There's a somewhat clean area. There's branches and a little bit of grass there, but it's not a nest or full of garbage or anything like that. There's an old table actually that's still intact. There's nothing on it anymore. I'll wrap this up in a few. I don't want to keep the campaign going too long tonight. But he says to you, Petal, or writes to you. I keep forgetting that he's actually writing, not speaking. He indicates that you should put what you want to trade on the table, and then they will bring what they want to trade. So it seems a little backwards, like he doesn't. He wants to know what you have to offer before he tells you what he has to offer.
Okay. Then I will.
This is actually, I'm kind of excited about this because this makes total sense. Do you know that crows and ravens are actually really smart and can trade with people real?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
One of my friends, one of my also close coworkers has trained, not really trained, but she's allured in a group of crows and ravens with shiny stuff in her yard.
Nice.
Learned how to do a crow call, all of it, yeah.
I will set out. I kind of wanted that crocodile leather. I will set out the snake skin.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I will set out the spider fangs, the vial of ectoplasm, and then I will make a small pile of like coins. And I want to tell him that like I have more coins. So if they like the coins, we have more coins.
Okay,
Like
so
I'll put out like 2 gold, 2 copper, 2 silver, uh, and then just like tell him in Elvish that there's I have more coins if they want if that's something.
I am going to put out my 2 hand axes and my my older regular wooden shield.
Oh, that's smart. I'll put out my old longbow. Or wait, did I give that to you? I gave that to you.
You did get that to me. I don't really have that much.
okay,
I
so
do.
so he has also made it clear that there has to be a mutual agreement upon value before the trade is made. But he brings out before you there is a hollow metal tube about a foot long that he sets down on the table. It looks like a chime. It's not clear based on appearance exactly if there's any special characteristics to it. He also brings out a pouch, a small leather pouch, and sets that on the table. Then he brings out an odd-looking crystal, a drum, a quiver, and there's a flail, and lastly a grappling hook. I set those down on the table. He is interested in making a trade for the snakeskin. Catches his attention at first.
Okay. I'm going to ask him if it's okay for us to inspect the goods, to pick them up and handle them, or if that's full time.
Yes, that's fine, and he expects the same of your items too.
Absolutely. Let's have a quick sidebar posse. What's everybody interested in?
I like the crystal.
I'm looking at the pouch and the quiver.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be cool to have a cool pouch from the Kenkus.
Grappling hook.
Smart.
Okay.
You're not thinking flail? I could definitely see you as like
I'm gonna.
True.
I'm gonna.
The flail would need to have magic.
So
that's right, your sword's magic.
for my benefit and yours, I'm gonna write down what he in the Roll20 chat. I'm gonna write down what he has, and you're gonna be missing some information just because you only see. You're gonna have to investigate if you want to know more. But I'm gonna write down what he has. If you would write down what you have, that would be appreciated. That way I can more easily remember, because my memory is not amazing.
Write it down in the chat.
In the Roll20 chat, if you would. This is very much Transformers. There's more to see than meets the eye on some of these things. That's weird. It broke mine up into 2 messages.
Yeah, mine did too on accident.
I'm also going to put like the parentheses in gold there.
Oh, okay.
From gold. I don't know. It's probably going to be more bartering than like just straight up cost switching. But...
Yes, it's definitely more barter by the feel of it. He might take an interest in the coins, but they have their own culture, so they may not value the coins, or at least may not value them the same way that you might expect.
Yeah. That. Well, I do. They apparently like shiny things.
Well, see, that's why I put one gold and one silver, so it looks like
Right.
even cooler and shiny because of the colors.
Yeah. Let me do a little quick search here.
Although I don't collect as much stuff as Petal does, though.
Let's see here. Okay, snakeskin, spider fangs, ectoplasm, 100-year-old wine, hand axes.
I would also like to explain the benefits of the wine
Ah,
on
yes.
top of tasting delicious.
Okay.
Like how you take a big drink after saying.
Double checking their.
I am currently drinking a gin and tonic, not smoothie, but
Slushy?
slushy. So it tracks.
Okay, so I was correct in calling it a flock. Apparently, lore-wise, they are called flocks. All right, so several of the Kenku come forward. They were the ones that ended up bringing forth these items that they want to trade. They take an interest in the silver piece, but not the gold. They pass over the gold. They're interested in the silver. They're interested in the spider silk, the shield. One of them is really, really interested in the snake skin, and they and the spider fangs. They ignore the ectoplasm and the wine.
Fair.
So it's, to repeat, it's the silver, the shield, the snakeskin, and the spider fangs. That's what they're interested in. And the spider silk. I forgot to say spider silk. So that's 5 things that they're interested in, and they have a simple trade interest with you. One item for one item. They don't care necessarily what the value is. They'll take one of those things I just listed, and they will trade for one of the things that they want to give you, if you consider that fair trade.
I will insist upon giving them more than one silver coin because I'm not going to steal from my new friends.
Right.
And I will explain to them that where we come from, the coins, like the way the value is, that it would be wrong for me to only give them one silver coin.
They appreciate your forthrightness. One of them offers the crystal in exchange for the silver pieces.
I'll give them my silver for that one.
Okay.
Which one has the grappling hook?
I mean, it could be the one who's interested in your shield. Ugh.
Okay. I'm gonna have like Cassandra or whoever wants to come over here and like help me. I want to convey. I want to point at my shield, and then I want to point at the grappling hook.
It's good enough. He gets the point.
I like to imagine that the guy who has the grappling hook gives it to the guy who wants the shield.
Mm-hmm.
Who they trade and then you trade.
Yeah.
True barter economy.
Yeah. Changes hands a few times. Everyone's happy. It's like White Elephant Gift, but in reverse.
Okay, so I no longer have this shield, but I do have
I would like to inspect the pouch and the quiver. Is that going to be like investigation or?
Investigation or Arcana. I'll take either of those, whichever you prefer. You could do both as well.
Definitely.
Yes.
I might ask Cassandra to do an Arcana check
She
on the
agrees.
pouch while I do an investigation check on the quiver.
She agrees. Comes up with a 23. So on the pouch, she identifies that it's a component pouch. And so component pouch, it has compartments to hold all the material components and special items you need to cast your spells, except for those components that have a specific cost, as indicated in a spell's description. It's basically like a fanny pack that carries the things you need in order to cast your spells. So she is particularly excited about that one.
Okay.
As would Elvira be, I would think. It's a very Elvira thing too.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, you have a spell focus, right?
I think.
Doesn't that do the same thing? Like you where it doesn't require you to have the material components?
I have no idea.
I can't remember because the couple campaigns I played the spellcaster in, we just don't track material components that don't have a
Right.
gold value.
Sorry, I didn't think about all that. There's so many moving parts to this
Um,
to this game.
I got a 19 on my investigation check on the quiver.
As you're holding the quiver and you stick your hand into it, you're able to put your arm all the way down into the quiver, further than the length of the quiver.
Like a quiver of holding almost.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh.
It has some
I
specific things it holds, but yes.
Okay. In that case, I would like. You said somebody was interested in the snake skin. Very interested in the snake skin.
Mm-hmm.
If they feel that it is an equitable trade, I will give them my snake skin. How much snake skin do you have?
Gosh, a lot. It was a huge boa constrictor snake.
Yes.
No more snake boots. That's too bad.
I know, but you know what? We'll find another giant one too.
Oh,
That's fine.
We can go snake hunting.
15 feet. Yeah, 15 feet of giant snake skin. If they find it to be an equitable trade, I will trade them the snake skin for the quiver.
yeah. It's probably a little difficult to use a quiver if you have feathers on your wings instead of hands. That's how
Yeah,
I
it
would
makes
look at
sense.
it. Yeah, they think that's a totally fair trade.
I would like to investigate the hollow metal rod.
Okay, and just so you know, Zach, that's the efficient quiver if you want to add that to your character sheet. And Liz, you got the component pouch. As for the chime, are you doing an investigation or arcana check on it?
I am doing investigation.
Okay.
That is. Wait. Might be able to increase.
Hey, did I get the crystal as well? That's what I wanted for the 2 silver.
Oh, I forgot to do the crystal. We'll do that here as well.
Did
Okay,
we do a
cool.
short rest? Did we do a short rest over the night?
Yeah.
Long rest.
Long
Yeah.
rest.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, all your spell slots are back. Oh, that's a good point. I forgot to do that to Cassandra.
I mean, I will take everything, but
Am going to do a tactical assessment of the. Okay, 16 is my total investigation check.
This is a musical instrument that appears to be a musical instrument.
Okay, I'm gonna set it back down.
Okay. Crystal. Yes, do you want to do a check on that?
yes. Can I do a history check on that, or should it be Arcana?
I think it would be Arcana.
Okay. Oh no. Only a 3.
Cassandra will assist you.
Can I also do? Okay, what does Cassandra say about it?
Go ahead and roll again.
Oh, you got
And
roll advantage. Okay,
yeah,
yep. I 8.
um, definitely some sort of arcane thing, but it's not clear what it is. Um,
Can I take the detect magic?
Well, that'll just tell you that it is magical.
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it's pretty obvious with that Arcana check that there is an arcane element to it. You just
Okay.
can't really nail down what it does.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Did anyone else have interest in anything in some of the other items?
Um,
Oh, the grappling hook. Oh, you already traded for that. Oh, go ahead and add the grappling hook to your sheet if you haven't yet.
I did.
yeah, I'm not particularly interested in the drum or the
good.
flail. Yeah.
Okay. So then, Elvira, you traded for 2 items, didn't you? Or was it just one? I don't remember now.
Did you get the component pouch?
I wasn't, but now I am interested in it. Would they be? Would they be? Think that 3 silver was an acceptable trade for those?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Let's do that then.
We're also deducting the shield from Guy, the snakeskin from Zach. I mean, from Petal, I mean. Cassandra wants that component pouch, so she's actually going to hand over her lyre, which you've never seen before, which was in her pack.
Take that. I kind of know what it is.
You could
Is that a
totally.
musical instrument?
Yeah, it's a guitar.
It's like a little harp.
Yeah.
You could totally trade with the Kenku for it if you wanted, but that's what Cassandra's going to hand over.
I'll take the lyre.
I like the idea of like them trading and amongst themselves and us trading amongst ourselves while trading with each other. This is a very good example of the barter economy.
Yeah, if you want the lyre there, Elvira, they would be interested in your spider silk.
You know what? Actually, I'll let go of the lyre and I'll keep the spider silk.
Okay.
I'm keeping my spider.
Yeah.
Lastly, they're going to come out with an item that is not for barter. The main Kenku has what appears to be a gift for you.
For me?
For all of you. For me?
Nice try, lady.
Let's see here. I want to choose a good item for it. And then after this, I think we can call it a night.
And then the night, boys.
It's been a night.
Can I like find that Kenku who had the flail and like give him 4 silver pieces for it?
Yes, add a flail +1 to your inventory.
Oh, cool.
It is not any flail. It is a flail +1. Okay, so Kenku, your Kenku friend, comes before you and he brings you a necklace with beads on it. They're made from aquamarine, black pearl, and topaz.
Beautiful.
It also has several other beads on it that seem to have no special significance to them. Elvira and Cassandra can immediately tell that there's something magical about this. Let's see. Without... So the thing is, Kenku gives this to you, and he says that this is... this has special significance. It's a... he calls it like a spirit necklace. you identify that there's something with something arcane about it. You can't tell what it is, though. He can't explain it because he doesn't know it. He thinks it's a spirit necklace, and so he can't tell you. You haven't experienced it before. It has unknown value. But it's a friendship necklace.
Well, that's it.
I will definitely thank them profusely for this wonderful gesture of friendship, and would like to leave them with some very good worm food. And I'm gonna pull out some more like spiced turtle meat and tell them to enjoy it in the spirit of friendship.
He accepts it warmly. He's very pleased. Just so you know, I'm putting that in Cassandra's inventory so that I can't spoil what it is.
Sounds good.
She'll hold on to it for you, but you just know that you have a necklace with some beads on it.
I'm just gonna lean into Cassandra and be like, "We can't trade that necklace away. If we ever come back, we're gonna want to show them that we still have it, so we know we're friends."
It's the friendship bracelet. I mean necklace. It's even better than last session's friendship bracelet. It's bigger.
Right?
Okay. We're going to end with me giving you another, we'll say, another cumulative 500. So what's 14? Let's make it an even. Hang on a second.
Let's just make it an even 3,000 apiece, right?
Yeah. 450 experience per person.
Nice.
For making friends with the Kenku, for killing a giant snapping turtle, and killing a giant lobster person.
You said 450 each or 425?
450.
Okay.
And then the last thing before we sign off for the session, Kenku consults with you, Petal, and gives you a better bearing on where you are in the jungle.
Okay.
And I'm going to reveal to you that you are not at all where you thought you were.
That's what I thought.
You are there. Can you see that yellow line?
Yeah.
You're at.
Are we off the main river?
Oh, way off.
So we gotta.
Just checking how much XP does everyone else have?
P50.
950?
Same. 7050.
7050.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Whatever it. That's what it should be, Eli. So just adjust yours to have it be the same.
Oh, okay,
The
so
same.
we're right behind the inn in Camp Vengeance. Okay.
Okay. Wow. Awesome. Good news, guys.
With that middle class white man confidence, like only you could.
I rolled a 13. It was a 4. It was a 50, as you like to say, 50-50 chance.
You either do or you don't.
Right. Good news is we can go back, reclaim the plucked monkey, and keep trucking on. And we made friends. This is a win-win-win. Win-win-win.
I'm just saying.
Very win.
I haven't made fun of you nearly enough tonight or today. In these past 3 days that we've been going down the river or not going down the river.
It's not the right river, but it is still a river. It was a river.
There we go.
Then it became a creek, and then became nothing.
Oh, also of note, you are probably about 10 miles, give or take, from where you believe Vorn would be. You're just south of it.
Do we want to just keep trekking? I mean, we were going to come basically this way from Camp Vengeance anyways.
Yeah. We were going to use Camp Vengeance as a base camp anyway, so... I mean, we already have friends here, so we can go
Right.
Vorn.
Can we
go
ask
there to Camp Vengeance, and if, there's crazy voodoo Sharkman stuff going on there,
Well,
then we can get back here.
Just a suggestion. You could maybe get some expert directions from the people of this village, since they really
I
like
was
you.
gonna say, like, we should talk to our new friends about getting to Vorn. I got the name right, right? It's called
Yep,
Vorn.
Vorn. Yep,
Okay.
Vorn. Yep. So
Cool.
About Camp Vengeance.
I will assume that next session you're heading for Vorn then, and I will plan for that. Does that sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
Do you want to? Okay. All right then.